If you do business in English, sounding more natural can actually help to grow your business and to grow your confidence. And the good news is that you can actually do all of those things by simplifying your English and not using such complex phrases and expressions that you might be using today. So this lesson is the ultimate guide to simplifying your English, sounding more natural, and feeling more confident. Hi, I'm your English coach, Christina, and welcome to Business English with Christina, where you become better at English and better at business. Now, if your business and your success depends on English, here is something that I would say is maybe one of the most important things to remember, and that's that often we native speakers or very advanced speakers tend to use simple, everyday English in most of our discussions. And if you learned English at school or by reading a lot of books or, just using those like traditional methods, there's a good chance that the English that you're using is more complicated and more complex than it needs to be. And the result, surprisingly, is that you just project this image of being someone who is cold or, snobby or just hard to relate to. And that can actually damage the relations that you're trying to build in English. So here are some great lessons from the archives of Business English with Christina to help you use simpler English and sound more natural, friendlier right now. This first one is probably one of the more popular ones. It's all about get and got. And if you're not using them a lot in your English, there's a good chance that you probably sound more formal than you actually want to be. If you're using words like obtain and become and arrive when we native speakers or advanced speakers would use get. So let's dive into this lesson. We use get when we talk about something that changes its state, when it becomes something different. For example, we became excited when we heard the news. We got excited when we heard the news. Here, you changed the way that you felt from, just normal to excited. When you buy something new, you can also use the word get. I love my new computer. I just purchased it yesterday. I love my new computer. I just got it yesterday. And the same is true when you obtain or receive something. Congratulations, you obtained the job. Congratulations, you got the job. I received your email. Thanks for that. I got your email. Thanks for that. Now, my teachers and we know that a lot of students can really get stressed out with the verb get because there are so many expressions that use the word get. But as a neurolanguage coach, let me give you a tip for helping you to feel less stressed and better about your learning. Don't try to learn everything at once. Just choose a few expressions, get them, learn them, and then go on to learning some more. Do it, step by step, one thing at a time, and you'll knock out all the expressions that you want to. You can also use get to talk about when someone brings something to you or to another person. Hey, can you bring me that report? Hey, can you get me that report? And we can also use get to talk about when you arrive at a specific place. Yeah, I arrived at the meeting late. Yeah, I got to the meeting late. Now, listen to this phone conversation and see if you can understand the expressions with get. Hey, it's Christina. It's good to finally be able to get a hold of you. I've been trying to get through, but your line's been busy for days. Hey, yeah, sorry, I've been super busy. I got your email the other day and I've been meaning to get back to you. But anyway, I was wondering if maybe we could get together to talk about the new product before the presentation. I've got a ton of week with that new client and I can't really get away until like next week. I really don't get how my schedule got so busy. Okay, well, I guess just try to get through the rest of the week, and maybe I can get Kurt to do the presentation instead of us. Now, you're going to learn a lot in these lessons, and that's fantastic, but I don't want you to just stop with these lessons. And the best way that you can really consolidate everything and make sure that it sinks into your brain is go over to the blog and do the quizzes that go with these lessons. That way you can actually, be more active in your learning, have a little more fun, and really, change your English. Okay, so now you know how to use get and got to make your English sound simpler, more natural, friendlier, more relaxed, and all of that. But let's talk a little bit about pronunciation, because that's an important part of making your English sound simpler and more advanced as well, especially with words like gotta, so got to, have to, gonna, and all of that. Let's look at that lesson. Have you ever had this problem where you learned a language in school and then maybe you watch lots of series in English as well, but then you go out into the real world, like at work or just using English in real conversations, and you realize that's a lot harder than you thought it was going to be. You find yourself making these really long, overly complex sentences. You sound very scholarly, too formal, and you don't understand people who speak fast, like native speakers or maybe very advanced speakers. A lot of times we native speakers, we use a lot of expressions with have and got. We actually use a lot of very simple structures, but with the words that have so many meanings or so many idiomatic expressions or difficult pronunciations that the words are simple, but it's not simple to understand. Let me show you what I mean with have and got, and let's fix this problem. So here are a few examples, and these are things that I hear all the time with my clients. Now, these phrases, they're not incorrect. They just don't sound very natural. They sound a little too formal, a little too academic, and we can simplify all of that. Can we review this report? Can we have a look at this report? Let me speak with human resources and try to find a solution. Let me have a talk with human resources and find a solution. The price of oil impacts the price of our products. The price of oil has an impact on the price of our products. Not that kind of oil. One way that you can make your English sound a lot more natural is using have and got to express obligation. It sounds much more natural than saying I must or I'm obliged to, which I hear all the time. And if you notice when we're speaking, we don't often say have to or got to. We say I have to and I gotta. So here's a conversation to show you what this sounds like in a conversation with native speakers. Hey, some of us are going out to this new sushi restaurant. I heard that you have to try the sushi. You want to come? Oh, no, I can't. I have to work late and I got to get this proposal out before I leave. Okay, well, I got to go. Let me know if you change your mind though. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to take a rain check this time, I think. But thanks anyway. And if you spend enough time with real English speakers, no, I don't like that. Native English speakers or very advanced English speakers, at some point you're probably going to hear something like, I'ma have to take a rain check. I'ma have to take a rain check, like I'm going to have to take a rain check. And maybe you don't know that expression to take a rain check, but maybe you do, or maybe you know how to search for something on Google. Any case, tell me when you find the answer, or if you know what that means, put it in the comments so everyone else can learn what it means to take a rain check. All right, now it's time for this, that, these, and those. Now, you might be thinking, Christina, my level is way better. I don't need to go back and look at these really basic things. But did you know that there are actually a lot of very simple, very normal everyday expressions that use this, that, these, and those that can really help you in some advanced business situations. Let's look at that lesson. What do you know already about the words this, that, these, and those? They're all words that we use, like I said, to indicate things or people. And in English, we call these words demonstratives because they're demonstrating or showing people or things. And in general, how we use them depends on whether we're indicating something or someone that is near or far, for example. And also it depends on how many things or people we're talking about. So maybe let's start with a general review of the rules before we get into some specific situations. Now, if you're talking about something or someone that is near to you or closer to you, you'll use this or these. If you're talking about something singular, you'll use this. For example, you might say, "Is this your phone? You left it in the meeting room." Or, "This is my coworker, 16. And if you're talking about someone or something close to you in the plural, we use these. To introduce some members of your team who are nearby to you, for example, you could say, "These are my colleagues, Karen and Matthew." Or another example, imagine maybe a member of your team is showing you some examples of a prototype that your company has just built. You could say, "Yeah, these prototypes are great." Or just, "These are great." Now, continuing on with our explanations. For that, we use that to point to someone or something that is singular but far from you. For example, with your colleague, you're in a meeting room, you might see a telephone over on the table on the other side of the room, and you could say, "Is that your phone? I think you forgot it over there." Now, if it's farther from you and plural, we use those. So again, let's take an example. You're at a conference and you want to tell your colleagues about some posters that you saw on display in another room in the conference venue. So you might say something like, "Did you see those posters about climate change in the auditorium?" So there's more than one poster and it's, far away, somewhere else in the conference venue. Now, here are some special situations. This plus time, like now. So when you want to talk about dates or times and use words like morning, afternoon, evening, week, month, year, we use this if you mean, the time that we're currently in. And this is an important one to know for scheduling things. For example, "I'm sorry, I'm not available. I'm so busy this week." And it's only Monday. Or, "This month, we're focusing on our new product launch." So here we're talking about the week or the month that we're currently in. It's the present time. All right, now, this plus a time for the future. Now, I know it sounds a little confusing, but we also use this if we're talking about a time that's coming with the expressions morning, evening, and weekend. So for example, will you be at the conference this weekend? The weekend is in the future. Or you could say, "This evening, I have a meeting with the board." So again, it's the evening, it's a little bit in the future, but it's still the near future. And this will help you to avoid confusion when you're using next plus week or month or year to talk about the future time. So, for example, you could say, "I'll call you next week." So it's the following week, the future week. Or another example, let's meet again next month to discuss our new strategy. So again, not this month, the present month, but the following month. And another special situation is when we use that and those for something in the past. So when you're talking about something or someone that you saw in the past, we use that or those. For example, to congratulate your team member on something from yesterday that they did, you could say, that talk that you gave was really good. And if you met someone the other day, sometime in the past, and you want to talk about them today, you could say something like, those people from Awesome Core were really easy to work with. And here's special situation number 4, when we use that and those plus a negative opinion. So when you're not feeling so positive about a person or a situation, you might use that or those almost like you're creating distance from them. For example, if your team has some difficult clients to manage, you might say, those new clients are so difficult to manage. Or if you're talking about, a restaurant that you went to and you just didn't appreciate it very much, you might say, oh yeah, you remember that restaurant with those rude waiters and that expensive food? I don't know why anyone would go there. Maybe just don't say that if your boss has just asked you to schedule a business lunch at that restaurant. And the opposite of that is if we have a positive opinion of something, we tend to use this or these almost as if we want to show our proximity with that thing that we like. For example, you might say to a colleague, you know what, I love these new slides that you're using in your presentation. Or, this new office is great. And as I always say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And here's how you can use what you learned today. Down in the comments below, share with us one expression that you can really realistically imagine yourself using in a business situation, and just drop it, put it in the comments below. And hey, it's an opportunity to practice and to really cement, anchor, make that phrase stick in your brain. And if this lesson was helpful for you, I would love to know. And there are 3 ways that you can tell me. First of all, just give this video a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe to my channel so that I can continue making more business English lessons for you. The second thing, go over to the blog, take that quiz yourself, and while you're there, sign up for my free newsletter. You'll get, of course, this free video lesson every week, but also some extra bonuses, and come be a part of our community. And the third thing that you can do is, let's continue learning together with this lesson all about stop saying very and some expressions that you can say instead. All right, thank you so much, as always, for improving your business, your English, yourself with Business English with Christina, and I'll see you next time.